The Sony reptilian overlords have graced us with their presence. They left little cracker packets for us to feast on. Today I want to talk about that interview with the Sony reptilian at DP Review. The fine men over at DP Review, except the guy who wrote the article. I'm going to trash him pretty hard today. So, but still, it should be fun.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Fuji with the kit lens. I've disabled a bunch of stuff to see if the autofocus can keep up. We're in 1080p. We've removed F-Log. We're in Pro Neg or something. Dynamic range up to 400%. No digital stab. You should be able to track me. I don't see any eye tracking. You lost me. I swear to God. In fact, before we get into the Sony interview, I just want to show you a little clip. I made a video with this camera and the 23mm Tony 2. It was good for most of the video. Good 90%. Way to go, Fuji. The other 10%, however, was a just diatribe. I should have just left. Thumb up the video, though. The Fuji assassins were relentless this night, weren't they? Available down below. That's an unallowable, which brings me to Sony. They would never do that, and that's why I'm so excited to hear this guy say, we're focusing on video, full frame video. So Barney over at DP Review just conducted a fantastic interview with the Sony reptilian overlord who oversees the company from the Hollow Earth. Fantastic interview. Except, of course, when it comes to your writing style. Just, can somebody down below let me know why the hell this happens? Every article, they quote something, and then it's repeated again. Why is it twice? It wasn't even that important. Stop writing it twice. I have only so much time dedicated to camera rumors and articles about cameras. It's a dying industry. It's 14 minutes a day max, and you took up 18 of them. That's too many of them. I'm not even joking. It irritates me worse than it should. Just seeing, as soon as I see those giant orange quotes, I'm like, that's gonna be again in the article. Oh, just skip it, but then I can't ignore it. And a lot of pain and suffering reading your articles, Barney. I oughta. So, Sony, focusing on video. They came out and said it. What's the focus for Sony leading into the future? Full frame and video. That's where we want, because that's where they suck. Even though they're good, probably better than this, they perform. They got the speed and the tech, but they don't have the love. But finally, we have a little rumor to sink our teeth into, other than relying on the Sony Alpha way of life with their fake-ass rumors. For those who don't know where the Sony Alpha rumor guy gets his rumors from, he feeds a dog corn and then watches the dog poo, and then whatever shape the poo makes, he thinks of a letter. Oh, okay, that looks like a G. A new G lens is coming, and then like the way the sun hits the shadow of the poo is like, oh, 2 to 4, 24 millimeter. That's how he does it. I'm not saying it's inaccurate. It's a good way. It's one of the best ways, but it doesn't always pan out. So the Sony reptilian came out, straight out said, the Sony A7S II competitor, successor, is gonna come out by the end of the summer. So we got a couple months. It's coming for sure. What we don't know is what form it will take in this realm. The Sony reptilian didn't reveal a lot of his battle plans, but he did leave us a couple crumbs. The first crumb, he said there was going to be giant pixels. That excites me. The Sony A7S II had what, 10 megapixels, maybe 12? Don't quote me on that. But they were giant singular pixels which gathered so much light you could light a cave, a monkey cave with it. The Panasonic GH5S copied that routine and went with a 10 megapixel or 12, and also had giant pixels, but they're micro four third size giant. They're not like the giants of Greenland that rule our Earth. I said too much. Is Fuji autofocus panicking or what? How are we dealing with this life? I've manually exposed, shutter 1250 like a pro. Just don't do it to yourself, Fuji. We're only at 2.8. It's not much to handle. I feel like these high resolution sensors like the Sony A7R IV, they look so terrible for skin tones. They show every little detail, every wrinkle, every bit of peach fuzz your wife had for dinner. I saw, what was it? I think it was a medium format Fuji review. I'll post, no I won't. I don't remember his name. I'll try to. And he was taking pictures of his wife, and then he zoomed in like 500%, and it was just like, oh my God, women look like that? Oh, never again. So these 10 megapixel full frame sensors, so good in low light, but also flattering for the face. Couple that with Sony's new color science. Teenage girl skin mode confirmed. Sony's the new Olympus when it comes to color. They're close, neck and neck. They look very similar, the ZV-1 and the EM-1 III. I couldn't tell them apart. They were both so pleasing. I licked my face after. Salty. He also mentioned 4K 60p, 10-bit 422. He knows we want it. We don't know why we want it, but I want it and need it and demand it. I could make those trees so many different colors with 10-bit. That's why we need it. So it sounds like they'll at least have that. I don't know that they'll beat it. He was kind of dancing around the RAW question. Barney was like, you gonna do RAW video? Some people like that. And like, we understand that people enjoy that, and we'll try to make a good camera. Like he didn't, there's no way there's RAW in that thing. Maybe externally. I can't guarantee they had a boardroom meeting about how to exceed our expectations, but it's possible they did. All right, fellas, I think it's time. It's time we exceed everybody's expectations, even our doubters. Let's release the Sony A7S III. 4. What are we gonna call it? We can't call it the 3 because this will beat the R4, and a 3 can't beat a 4 due to math. Lewis, I want to exceed expectations here. People are expecting a 3, maybe a 4. We call this thing the Sony V1.6 Mark III. It's a great idea, boss. So much less confusing this way. That's why you make the big bucks. So we gonna put improved IBIS in there? It's too obvious, Lewis. They expect that. I'm gonna throw them a curveball. IBIS disabled mode allowed. It's actually better than our current IBIS system, and it saves us money and weight, and we like to be small. I'm just missing the part where we exceed expectations. Like what feature are we gonna put in there? I think you might wanna sit down for this one, Lewis. 4K 60p, 10-bit, 422. Who's even ready for that? It's kind of been done though already. Panasonic's done it. Nikon, I think, even can do it. Olympus would have done it, but they're out of business. They make ice cream cones now. Good ones though. It was a good feature 3 years ago when I said it. Ow, why didn't you wake me up from my cryo sleep, Lewis? You said before you go in there, no matter what, until we're ready to exceed people's expectations, do not wake you up. And we didn't. We stuck to our guns. Our guns are outdated, but they're shiny. Whatever, it'll still be a good camera. At least we beat Canon still. Eh? Am I right, Lewis? Yeah, about that. They're coming out pretty hard. They're swinging hard, boss. They have 8K, 10-bit RAW 8K, 4K 120p, 10-bit, dual pixel autofocus, improved to quadruple pixel. Don't hit me. Set the chamber for 14 years. The way I see it, since Olympus just fell, we got Canon and Sony at the top. Then it's Fuji and Panasonic fighting for the scraps. I tell you, I would be so happy with Fuji if they just get some things in order. That autofocus scares me. Let's switch to the 18mm while we rant. This is actually Fuji's best lens for video, the 18-22. On paper it's the worst, and it's wider. Look, we're at 18 right now. Watch this. Oh my God. Things just got a little bit wider, so none of Fuji's lenses are accurate. The 18mm is more like a 17, the 23 is probably a 21. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, as long as it's wider and not less wide. but the focus hunting scares me. It's still a Sony video, trust me. This is Sony content. Wow. If I'm being honest with you, I just want something that works and gets out of my way. I just want to sit down in a park and have the autofocus track me and not just freak out. And exposure changes that... Was that stepping? We're in just auto shutter right now. ISO is fixed. Wow, that's... And the box went over there. What's happening? Can you even see me? I'm in the shade. Show me, Fuji. Show me to the world. I'm a human boy. I know I do a lot of comparison videos and checking out which has the better colors and all that. None of it matters. Just the smooth and polishedness of it all. That's what I miss the Canon already. Just because I knew I could rely on it. Even though the highlights were clipped, always, I didn't mind it. Yeah, Fuji has better dynamic range. I prefer the colors in the Fuji. No, I don't. The stabilization's better in the Fuji, but they lack the polish. And you know that Sony A7S III is going to be polished and easy to use, so it's an exciting time to be alive. The Canon R5 and R6, and then the Sony A7S III, and maybe their budget RP killer. Good times ahead, but we push on in torture with the Fuji system, even though I can hear the lens and I can feel it trying to focus. So thank you, Barney, for getting a Sony executive to talk, even though you quoted him way too many times and tripled his speech impediment. But I appreciate. Finally, where's the roadmaps for everybody? Just tell us. Give us a sneak preview of something. Give us some hope. All I have is food, 1 meal a day. I also hold hope alive in my heart that I get to meet one of these giants from the Roman Empire who pretended to fall and now control the earth from Greenland. So there's that. I'm shadow banned. I really hope this thing is in a camcorder style body. If he's talking about video, it should be known that camcorders are better. I like that VG900. I should have bought that thing. It didn't autofocus very well, and the Canon G7X outperformed it in every way. But looking back at some of the videos I made with that thing, I was like, oh, look at that. And that was a Tony 4 lens. The 24-70 Tony 4? Are you kidding me? I got magic out of that thing. So, Sony, make a camcorder style body or a new design. They said they're going to design it new, something completely different. So it's not going to just be a A7 III or 4 body. Something different is upon us. So, can't wait. Thanks for watching the video today. Thanks for buying a Fuji Assassin t-shirt. Even though they haven't assassinated their lineup, it's perfectly adequate. Every lens is great, especially the ones designed for video. Those never fail. Those always autofocus accurately, and I love that. We're done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.